Ah.
Welcome to the show. My name is Al.
And I'm Lizzie.
And we are here. We're a little bit early. It's 9 o'clock. So hopefully you guys can join us, at least on the replay. And we are talking season 3, episode 6, Scar Tissue. And this was a crazy, it wasn't my favorite, but it was definitely a one for the record books. And folks, if you are new to our podcast on the video, you can hit that subscribe button right below us, and to the right, I think it's there. I don't know what it is. Also,
I don't know where it is.
No, it's usually on the right-hand side. That said, right behind Lizzie is our season 1 tribute poster, and you can get that at the What Is From shop, along with we have some new stuff. We have T-shirts, and we have some stickers and bookmarks that we're pre-ordering, that we're pre-doing, and we're going to be putting up our pre-order for our season 2 poster. That's going to be pretty awesome. So that being said, Lizzie, what was your first thoughts on this episode?
I watch it with a fine-tooth comb to begin with, and I was just collecting information, and I was really enjoying Jade's journey in this episode. I really loved it. I just love all of the episodes. I don't know. It's for me, it's been hard to be disappointed in any one of them. There's always a big surprise. What about you?
I mean, this wasn't my favorite episode, but it was a good episode. It gave us a lot of good information, I think. And I think that it moved the story along. I think it was a table setter episode. But I mean, it's certainly not going to be one of my favorite episodes, but it was a good episode and had a lot of good stuff to it. I mean, we had a big episode with last week. So I think that, you have to kind of, after I equate it to after Colony House in season 1, after the big massacre type thing, when they came into the house, the next episode, it wasn't that it wasn't great or good. It just, you had to kind of reel from what happened. Yeah, you had to kind of a step back. So that said, let's see what we got. We got our first thing, and you want to go to Colony House first, correct?
Yes. So I'm calling this Colony House yearbook. We see Elgin playing around with the camera, the Kodak instant camera, the Polaroid camera that he and Julie found in the basement. And so he's decided that he's going to create a collage of all the inhabitants of Colony House. And he takes this very interesting picture of Fatima. And the reason why it's interesting is because she's not smiling. Like, that has been the one thing about Fatima this entire series. When we see Fatima, we see her smiling. She's almost always smiling. She's just got this beautiful smile. And there she is. She's looking at him horrified. It's not like, oh, my hair isn't done. My makeup isn't done. It's nothing to do with that. She's just got so much turmoil going on that she's just not smiling. So he takes this picture of her, and he's hanging it on like this little like clothesline. And as he's going to do it, he turns the picture and he sees the kimono woman in the picture, like standing behind Fatima. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was wondering if that's what the picture was developing into, or if he was just seeing that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty freaky though. It
Yeah.
definitely was freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I was thinking about this today, and I know everybody wants answers and answers and answers, and I get that.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not opposed to. I hope they give us something. Like even if they told us why they were there, it's better than telling us nothing. And I
Yeah.
think that if they tell us why they were there and they have to still get out, that's different than, something else. And I think that's, I know, I know that, I just want to make this point because we got something going on.
We do.
I know that it's going to be a problem, but I know this is what Lost was about from what everybody's told me. And I think that if they at least tell us why and they still have a mission to do something, it could make it a little bit better of a story. But before we go any further, we've got our returning special guest all the way from Ohio. And Andy, how the hell are you?
I was like, Taryn or John? John or Taryn are from Ohio.
Well,
I don't know. I forgot, Andy, for a brief moment. I was so absorbed in what Alex was saying. I forgot you were coming.
I'm here.
No, Aaron is from the other side of the pond, and I don't know where John's from.
Okay.
But that being said, how the hell are you, Andy?
Tired, but excited.
I have a question for you. I have a very serious question for you. First off, did you get arrested this week? And did you go into the red door? Because you should never go into a red door.
I can't spoil if I went into the red door or not, but
okay,
I can confirm I did not get arrested.
So for those of you that don't know,
have such a baby face. You'd have too much fun or not too much fun in jail.
Yeah, it was quite the comedic moment in my week.
Well, that's awesome. And, just for those of you that don't know, and most of you probably do, he's an internet sensation, thousands upon millions of followers, and he was doing some content, and he had a little kerfuckle, or whatever you want to call it.
We had total permission to be filming on a piece of land, and we looked like a cult, like in black robes and red skull masks. And
oh my God,
like 5 different police officers were like going across these 30 acres to make sure our screams weren't somebody, dying.
Well, and that's good. That's good that nobody died. But
yeah, everyone's okay.
No masks were harmed in the filming of whatever you did. But
and to keep it from appropriate, I did get a little from homage into the little short film thing we're making.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, did you see that we interviewed the most important person in From, at least not the most important, but we got to interview David this week?
Yes, and I haven't watched it because those come out on it came out today, right?
I dropped him today because he's talking about today's episode. That's
why I didn't watch it. I started watching one of Scott McCord's, and he was talking about meeting, Victor meeting his dad. And I hadn't seen that yet. And I was like, and but
we really didn't, spoil it too much.
No, there's not much to spoil, honestly.
There's not really much to say.
Yeah.
I mean, this episode does have a lot of Victor and his dad.
Oh, it was fast. It was so good.
But I have to say, and I've said this to Lizzie, unfortunately, her tech wasn't working so well. So I had to do the interview by myself. And I think, it was awful that I had to do it, but I pressured on and got to, and I actually stumped them a little bit. Because we're going to talk about the bottle tree and bottle tree lore, which I have a little bit of understanding of because I did a little research. But let's just backtrack real quick since you're
could
I
be unprofessional for just a second? And I just wanted to put out there on my YouTube that I'm here.
Please.
So I'm
put
listening,
Professor
but I'm going to
Landschoot
cut this out.
and that would be great. Because we don't know what we're doing.
I
Honestly.
don't. When you talked about the tech error, it was the first. I interviewed my favorite band, Coheed and Cambria,
Okay.
and I didn't turn my mic on the very first time I did
Oh.
anything. I eventually fixed it and did more videos with them, but I'm here with you. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't
That's
know
okay.
what it is. It's like my computer is temperamental, and sometimes it just decides that the mic isn't going to work. And this is the second time this has happened when Alex and I have done the press junket.
It's you know what it is,
It's
Andy?
always a moment like that, of course.
No,
Yeah.
she just wants me to do it. It's like a thank you.
Well, he did do a really good job. He really
I don't know about
did
that.
I think he
If I could
did.
if I could get his name right, but that's a whole nother issue.
Don't go there, Alex. Seriously. I'm serious.
No. But anyway, I think that he was really he's really into the show.
That's awesome.
Like that's the one thing, right, Lizzie? He's like really
Yeah.
into the show.
Do you hear Cliff too? When you had him on, he was like, "I'm a fan of the show," and it just I think as some the fans appreciate that so much more than I think most cast and crew members understand. Like that means the absolute world to me as a fan that they're into it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Absolutely.
I can't remember who it was, but I know who it was. It was The Walking Dead, and it was Martinez, one of the governor's henchmen. Yeah, and it was my first con ever. Had never been to one. And I went up to him and asked him about something having to do with oh my God, Terminus.
Okay.
Right.
And he's like, I don't watch the show.
Yeah.
And I just died. I was embarrassed because it never occurred to me.
Right.
And I should know better. Like I deal with actors in my regular job. That's I
but
should
also,
know better.
They could have answered that in a way that wasn't so blunt and like jarring too.
Yeah, it was quite jarring.
But Lizzie, with the exception of Lori, the one that plays Lori, I can't think of her actor name. I mean, her real name.
Holden?
No, not Lori.
Oh, Sarah Wayne Callies.
Yes. I mean, she has been off the show for so long. Like, for her to say, I don't watch the show anymore, I'll give her a pass. It's been like a zillion years.
It was like a season this guy had
that's what I'm trying to say. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if even if you're in the show, like, you should have some kind of opinion on what's going on if you're in that season or the next season. That's
you're going out to do cons.
Right.
And people want to talk about it.
To talk to you.
That's what I mean. People want to talk about it. And
they got so big so fast. The Walking Dead massively blew up that they probably were like, well, we're stars now. It's we just get to do what we want.
Only the dirty masses watch the television.
Now that we wasted a little time so that you could do what you had to do, what were your first? Yeah, that's it. What were your first thoughts of this episode?
I just finished watching it like 4 minutes ago. Like I watched it and I walked into this room and turned this on. It was I feel like the last 2 episodes have been a lot of information and like kind of like letting things set in. And when you're just so into the show, it's like I could watch 10 episodes of just like telling us a little bit more about things. But this one, it was so many scenes, so many of the storylines that were going on that I'm like, keep going. I want to see more. I want to know more. I want to especially Victor, his dad in the caves, which ended up being legitimately scary towards the end, but brought up a lot of questions and thoughts and ideas. But I don't know. My main thoughts after watching this, I'm like, I think we're gonna be in for it next. I think next week's gonna be a roller coaster again.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
But I did write notes for all the beats of the episode, so as we talk about them, I can bring up crazy theories and ideas.
Did you get my notes that I sent you?
I did, but I couldn't read them because I hadn't seen the episode.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I appreciated it, but I don't have time to prep it because it would ruin the episode for me.
It was really just an outline of the different sections we're going to talk about, because right now we're talking about the Colony House yearbook. And so we were talking about how Elgin he's hanging the photographs on the line, and he gets to the one with Fatima and he looks at it, and the kimono woman shows up behind him. I was
waiting. I thought that was going to happen in the last episode when he took a picture of Julie. I was like, she's going to be a monster because she has the cicadas in them. And then it wasn't that way. So I knew something was good when he pulled the Polaroid out again. I was like, all right, we're going to get something with these photos. And of course we did.
Well, it just makes me think that the kimono woman is attached to Fatima, because you know how people have been saying that woman is Fatima, right?
Right.
And then Elgin is the baby and all of that.
Yeah.
And after tonight, who knows what the heck is going on? But
I think it's safe to say that she's probably connected with the whole not pregnancy thing.
Yeah, that could be it. Like, it almost is like air bubble. When you get an air bubble in your throat, that's what Fatima has.
There's so many storylines from this episode that are just like, oh, I want to know more.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. As I was talking before and I didn't realize I was on mute, I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. And all of a sudden I was on mute. I think I wish people would get over the whole, this person equals this person, that person equals that person. I mean, I was talking to Lizzie about this the other day. I don't know how to kind of solve it in my own head, and maybe you guys can help me solve it, in the sense of, if Jade is Christopher and Tabitha is this person, and there's a lot of mirrored characters from the past and the present. I like, it's like they're just putting people into their little buckets. I don't know.
And also I think the point that we need to understand here is like, okay, whatever you think, if they're mirroring a character or they are that character, they didn't do it right because you're still here. So what are you going to do to change their path when that, because they failed.
Yeah. And that's something, like, I hate saying I'm a chemist, but I've done a lot of labs, and when you're trying to figure something out, you do minor tweaks along the way, because you keep failing. Like Edison had 2,000 prototypes of the light bulb before he finally got one that worked, and it's just tweak.
And you can't try too many new things at once, or you don't get the right data. It has to be it's tedious.
Yeah, and if this has been going on since like the 1600s, or was 1400 even the earliest date, if that is a date, it just makes you wonder how many tweaks there's been along the way. So at any rate, I just want to finish saying this about Elgin's experience.
Sure.
Okay.
Because the kimono woman comes up behind him and she says, she asks for his help so that she can save him and so that she can save them all.
Yeah.
And that's...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. I don't know what I'm going to say.
It's clear that I think that the general audience feels that she's not like a nefarious entity. I feel like if anything, she's leaning, but who knows this place? But I feel like that's what we're supposed to feel, is that she's not nefarious. And I thought it was kind of weird in the episode before last that he jumped out and tried to hit her with like a fireplace shovel. I was like, so he doesnn't feel that way about her, but
a little something coming at you. Come on, Andy. Like, I would be like,
I guess she tried to drown him originally. Or
come on, yeah.
Okay, all right,
maybe that's the first time we see her.
But in his defense, and I think this is the problem with this, not a problem with the show, but like, when you think about all the incidents that happen, they have people that come out at night. They got the Akui girls. They got this. They got that. They got monsters. And
I wouldn't trust anything.
And that's my point. It's like, what do you
Right.
trust? And then this guy, every time he sleeps, he sees something coming at him. I'm like, dude, like,
Yeah.
and then
That is something we have to always remind ourselves that, like, okay, yeah, we're thinking logically because we get to walk outside and do whatever we want every day. We're not tormented.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you look at the cop, and I still till this day don't understand why they were like laying into her as much as they did, because I mean, and it was like, hold on, you tie people up at Colony House for 24 hours.
Right.
She saw somebody open the window, like the shade, and there's a monster there. I mean, like, come on, like.
And she in that scene where she just got roasted.
I know.
I was like, I felt like what she said was very, a very good moment where she was just trying to offer help in any way, and it wasn't even a terrible idea. Yeah, she gets it. She gets it.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take us off kilter there.
So
you were saying, Lizzie.
I'm set with Colony House if we want to move on to Dale.
Okay, let's move on to Dale.
Okay. So we got some new information on this episode because Donna mentions that he's been driving her nuts for nearly 2 years. So guess what happened?
Did you move back on the list?
I could adjust it. Yeah.
Yeah, was it?
This thing, I need to figure out how to make this look better, but
what we could do is make a
we all know this is Victor being there the longest.
Okay.
Donna, 3 years, 6 months, 17 days, but probably added 2 weeks to that. Then Khatri at 3 years. Dale shows up between Khatri and Boyd.
Okay.
So Boyd was there at 1.5 years. Fatima, the Lous come in somewhere around here. Fatima at 1 year, Christy at 6 months, Sarah and Nathan a few months, and then we've got Jade and the Matthews, and then the bus people.
Yeah.
So this is the board.
And now you can add even more at the top, the ambulance people.
Oh my gosh, yes. I can't believe I didn't do that. The ambulance. So basically Acosta and Henry. That needs to go on there. Thanks for that, Andy. See?
Got you.
And Tabitha back, if you want to.
Yeah, Tabitha coming back.
Yeah.
Like a little footnote.
Yeah. So Tabitha tells Donna that Dale just wanted to help. And when we had Cliff on last week, I think it was, that's what he said. That was Cliff. All Cliff wanted was to be able to help.
He was clearly frustrated.
Yeah.
That he wasn't being utilized.
Yeah.
Or taken seriously.
And I think that he had a lot to do with that. Because, like, when you remember the episode that Jasmine wreaks havoc on Colony House, and, Dale's on the stairs talking to someone, and he's just talking BS. Like party guy BS talker that you're just like, somebody, sit between me and this guy, That's what he seemed like. So Tabitha goes to the pool where Dale is buried, and Donna is throwing rocks down into the pool because she's going to wall him up. And they're talking about it and about different things. And Tabitha says, I think I might have wasted my opportunity, when I got there. And we saw the way Acosta was talking to Tabitha in the ambulance. Like she was an escaped mental patient.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think she was trying to do things the entire time. She talked to and she did tell somebody, technically. She told the priest. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the priest. I forgot all about him. Yeah. I mean, I think she did what she was supposed to do. The only thing, and I'm hoping we see what this, see a payoff for this. The only thing was her calling her grandmother. I mean, her mother.
Mom, yeah.
Like that's just, that's just a weird thing to have done. I can understand why she did it.
Sure,
like
yeah.
we all probably would have done that, called our moms, but knowing, I guess, knowing that she couldn't do anything, no one could do anything about it, you know?
Yeah, but she was also, I think she's clearly just feeling guilty because she's listening to these people and letting their thoughts get in. We all pay attention to negative comments much more than we pay attention to positive comments.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like she was going to the movie and eating junk food. She was probably terrified of not getting back with her family. So if you tell the wrong person, you get taken away. Boom, you're never seeing from them again.
Yeah.
And she was walking the steps. She was pulling at the threads, following the lunchbox, and she was actively trying to do things to contribute to, figuring something out.
Right. And it just, I don't know why I can understand the frustration of the townspeople.
Sure.
But come on, be realistic. You tell people that you're from a place that you can't get out of, yet you're standing here? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. So, yeah. You probably would get locked away if you told enough people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So my last point on Dale is Kenny comes to the pool and asks if he can move into Colony House.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wanting to live with a family. He's not wanting to live in a place where his mother lived and made a home for them, which is understandable. I hate that Kenny's alone in this world.
I think he's going to get a very good story arc, though, because everyone loves him. Him and Victor, there's a handful of people we all hold near and dear, but like him and Victor, I feel like are the ones we really like. Don't you dare touch them.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got plot armor as far as we're concerned.
So I look forward to seeing.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny about his plot armor, not Kenny's, but Scott's or Victor's. They were going to kill him off in the first season.
That's beyond me. Yeah, I hear that. I'm like, huh? How does that work?
And
he's like the bloodline of all this.
Yeah.
Well, the question that I have, if this is an entity and everything else, and Dale has proven the fact that the entity has control of everything, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the heck did Victor do to get stuck in this for life? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what did him or his mom or his sister do? Now,
I have a note about exactly. I'm the same thought when I was like, because there's that moment where like, they're like, we almost like we allow you to exist because, or you better watch out or else you're going to stay here with us.
Yeah.
Do you think that one, like they've clearly allowed him to live, like that is understandable. Do you think that his mom did some sort of deal with the entity that safeguarded him, and there is some sort of protection around him that we're yet to find out?
Okay. It makes me wonder.
Or they're doing something like Boyd, where they're just trying to tour. Now, is it a fact that Victor's mom and sister are dead?
He said that he found his mom's body underneath.
Okay. Is it a fact that his sister is dead?
No.
I didn't think that's a true. I don't think that's
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. I thought that's what Tabitha was going to find on the outside.
Right.
Yeah.
When season 2 ended, I was like, I bet you that's going to happen. Yeah. And then I didn't expect it.
I bring that up because, I keep hearing you hear all these crazy theories, right? And you're like, maybe she's going to show up. Maybe, and again, this is completely, maybe the police officer is her. I'm not saying it is her, but there's enough evidence that she could return.
She's a loose thread.
I don't think it's Tabitha. I don't think Tabitha.
No, I don't think so either. Because, especially that flashback she had at the end of the episode.
I don't think Tabitha's the mom. I don't think I think they may pick people, and I know I'm going to talk on both sides of my mouth. They may pick people to have certain roles,
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like Jade
yeah.
being Christopher and her being the mom, those same type of powers,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, or
Chess pieces.
whatever
Yeah.
you want to call them.
Yeah.
Because I do believe to that thing, the monsters are playing chess and Boyd is playing checkers. I mean, they're
Yeah.
playing a game.
Good
I
way to put
mean,
it.
but anyway, let's get back to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go
Oh,
off topic.
No.
I
No.
forgot.
Super interesting.
Like I know we were off topic, but like if you think about, and I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but Victor and his father jump into the trailer at the end of the episode, right?
Mhm.
And Victor said, I used to hide here. And we both know, all three of us know they didn't have talismans, right?
It
And
did latch,
Victor, what's
but
that?
it did latch, right? Because it's a traditional truck, but they could break through it, of course, if they wanted
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. Like if they wanted to get at him, I think that they could have gotten at him.
Mhm.
And all those years, he lives to be a 50 some odd year old man and never been killed.
I
And
do have a
I'm
couple of
wondering,
points about that, but I'm going to wait to talk about it.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because I am jumping ahead, but
Because it's I don't want to go down that I mean, that's a big thing, and you're
yeah, it
right,
is a
it's
good
a
thing.
lot.
Let's just get back on track.
Yeah.
So let's go to
That-
Matthew's family drama.
Yeah. That.
No.
And when that scene, are you talking about the beginning or just all of
Oh
it?
yeah, that opened the episode.
The
It's like
opening-
bam.
Yeah, it's funny because of all the things moving and from, and I was like, we don't need to see drama. I was like, but this would absolutely be happening, and it's happening for a reason because they're showing
Yeah.
it to us. It's such a real, relatable thing, like human
Yeah.
relationships are so difficult, and it's it's weird to
Yeah.
watch from. You're like, this is like real life for a lot of people,
It seemed like they went into like their marital script, and she's brooding at the window, he's pissed off, and she's like they went back to the script that they were using after Thomas died.
Yeah,
And they accomplished nothing with that fight.
absolutely.
He
Nothing.
goes off to look for food and she's there.
Interesting, we didn't see him. Like it never touches back to him in the whole episode. My wife pointed that out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, are we gonna get to see anything?"
Yeah,
It's
and who did he go with?
when we're not given information to the show, it's just as scary as when we see the scary stuff.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is your take on him? Do you like him or not like him, or like
I think I mean, I like him in the story for sure. I feel for him, because he has just been trying his best to do things, and I feel like he makes nobody happy.
Yeah.
Now there's other characters that are near and dear to my heart that I genuinely like. But I don't know. And I was like, something in that when he left, I was like, is this something was said? I was like, oh, maybe he just won't come back. Maybe. And that's the way it ended. And that's going to affect Tabitha ongoing.
Yeah.
I
like he was underutilized last season.
Mhm.
I think he's been used a little bit more this season, but he's more of a facilitator as far as segueing things versus being like a Jade or
Absolutely.
a Victor or even a Tabitha.
He's not moving the mystery along.
Yeah, I have some thoughts, but I'm not going to voice them here. But
I just think if he left tomorrow, it wouldn't affect the story.
It's starting to feel that way.
I think
like
it would definitely affect all the people that are important to the story, which makes him like when you're looking at it, you're like, I could see him being a big character that goes because of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like
smarter.
He gets. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. He gets manhandled by his daughter, which he deserves to.
Yeah.
His son is getting pissed at him, and his wife is just like, what are you doing? And they just fell back into the old tropes of the way it used to be before they.
Yeah. Because remember, like first season, they were all like they were healing. They were falling back into romantic love. The kids were happier, and Ethan even remarks about it in this episode.
It's a very heartfelt sentiment. Like it just hits you. Not heartfelt like all sweet, heartfelt like it hurts, and it's a very powerful moment.
Yeah. It just was kind of sad. And so that morning, Tabitha has an Ankui experience. Like she's just talking with Ethan, and all of a sudden she's just like,
right.
It goes upstairs. Like, and she was totally cornered. One comes out of each bedroom, one's coming up the stairs, and she's like, "Wow!"
Right. And that's the most. I didn't know what to expect when they heard the creaking, and now I think about it, I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have been surprised." That's like the one that makes absolute sense. But I did, once they started creeping in on her, I was like, "She's just gonna have one of these episodes, and then Ethan's gonna come running."
Yeah.
So back.
Yeah. Let's see. How did I end up with Julie and Randall getting stoned? I don't know. Julie, the thing that I wanted to talk about with Julie is this season, she just looks dark to me.
Yeah. She almost looks like this episode specifically. I was like, she's kind of starting to look like a Addams Family member almost, like the straight dark hair, and like she's definitely brooding.
Yeah, but more the girl in The Ring.
Yeah.
Versus Morticia looks happy, at least.
Right.
She's like the girl from The Ring.
Yeah.
I know, Alex, you probably don't know that, but
what?
The girl from The Ring, the one that climbs out of the TV or the well or something.
Or whatever?
Yeah, it's like,
I know of her because I played Dead by Daylight.
And
she likes to come through the TV. She likes to come through the TVs and like scare the crap out of me. But no, I don't normally. I've never watched The Ring. I have no desire to watch The Ring. The only ring I have is probably one that was on my finger. I have no scariness in me when it comes to that. But I will say, when it comes to her, I think going back to the Matthews family, what are they trying to do? They're trying to put pressure on the survivors.
On all sides,
On all sides. Well, they took Tabitha away. Boom.
Yeah.
The dad lost his shit.
Yeah.
Now what they did was with her and Randall, what are they doing? And Marielle, they're screwing with their head.
I think they're trying to bring those three together, and I love that they're communicating about it.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the mysteries now. It's like, is that actually ended? Because it was very like it looked like this is the problem. Smash the dancer, and then the curse is broken, and and it's like, okay, but that wasn't really the end. That wasn't the curse. So has it just been like, or is their brain just ravaged from it, and they're just gonna forever be sick?
Yeah, like I do like how they're slowly drawing them together, and even though Marielle is not acknowledging it, she's got Randall moving into the clinic now.
Yeah, which I like.
Yeah, I like that too.
I really think, though, that Marielle being a nurse has a different perspective than the other two. I say that just because I'm not saying what she's seeing is not scary and whatever in her head, but she's used to trauma. She's used to dealing with that and getting through that a little bit easier. And especially when you're constantly on level 27,000 every day. I mean, all she's trying to do is survive the next injury. Yeah. And I think, that adrenaline can only take you so far. But, when you're a leader, and she's not necessarily a leader, but she is valuable though. But I'm just saying, she's valuable as a medical person. People are starting to use her and respect her. I like what they're doing with, like you said, what they're doing with Randall and Marielle. And, you fake it till you make it kind of thing too. She's keeping it together with it's a house of cards, I think. But it's an interesting.
She was also probably going through the worst of it of those three because she was going through withdrawal at the same time. So not only was she like losing her mind, whatever was happening with that episode, and I don't mean episode literally, I mean like, that the episode of the spell and the three people, like her body was just like absolutely in hell.
Right.
Yeah. And she was dealing with the curse on top of it.
I mean, I hope they kind of explain what they put them through, because they've kind of just said
I think they will.
They have to.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, right.
Julie's already said she hears constant screaming.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your hell? I think it would be like Bill's.
If
that's the case, that's where I am now.
I know, like mounds of bills and phone calls from people.
Non-stop sales call that you have to answer. That'd be bad.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's like I was talking to Lizzie about this. I wanted to make this video about, let me get this straight. There's monsters at night. There's all these different things in From. It's kind of looking like a vacation. I don't have to work. I don't need money. I don't have anybody going on. Yeah. I mean, this is a dream.
I don't go out at night anyway.
And
all the time. So
let me just say we are talking with Andy and Lizzie, and we are talking season 3, episode 6, Scar Tissue. And folks, if you're just joining us, again, hit that subscribe. We are up to, thanks to Andy's help, and I say that because I'm not being funny when I say that, I want to get the exact right number, okay? Because it is effing amazing. Hold on. It's just give me a second here, because God forbid I'm in the wrong thing. But we are almost at, I think we actually, we are at 704 subscribers.
We're getting there.
Only 4 of them are ours. The 700 are the guy below me. They're all of his friends, and we want to thank them for I want to thank everybody, because I think it's really kind of neat that people are taking the time and that they're enjoying the content. And we just got to get those views up, and then we're going to be able to offer a lot of other benefits. Like we'll be able to put our shop on the bottom, because I know Lizzie wants to make sure that we're selling a T-shirt an hour, or I get yelled at, right, Lizzie?
Yeah. Well,
next year will be every half hour.
Well, no. I have to say, no. In her defense, what she's doing, I think, is really cool, and I can't wait to see them. She's taken our poster, and she has a Mrs. Lou one with the diner, and making bookmarks. Yeah. I mean, like they're gonna come out really cool. I just like I said, I think it's really cool, but it's nice if we could have it across the bar. And the only way we do that is I want to thank everybody, because we have been getting tons of requests for shirts, tons of requests for the poster. I mean, I know we're not run out yet, but we're getting close to running out.
Yeah. And we have to reorder.
I mean, the T-shirt sales a bit, and the mugs. I know you're getting a Proclivities one soon.
I really should have a Proclivity one. Basically.
I got my mom a Frumley shirt of yours.
Oh, you did? For your mom?
For her birthday, yep.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize your mom was
watching. I would buy one myself.
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. I mean, you got to make a shirt or two. It's not like you don't have a way to make a shirt, isn't it? But
I don't have it anymore.
You don't?
Really?
We got rid of it at my work. Yeah, I used to. I think the last time I was on here, I had literally my dog like on my shirt, and then I had a From one made too, but I only have one copy of it.
I thought you had you made your own merch.
We did for a long time, but then we moved on to a different way we make our shirts at work. So
okay. Well,
anyway, it was a hassle.
I totally understand, but yeah, we're at 704 subscribers. Hopefully, we'll get to 700. What do you think is a good number? 730.
By when? By the end of this?
By the end of the week.
Well, you right now listening to this, if you haven't already, you could literally just hit the button, and this wonderful community inside the From community can just flourish.
All right. now we've tried to pay some bills. What's next? We're at
Right,
Fatima's dilemma.
so we need to talk about Fatima.
Oh God,
Something is
I was
wrong
almost
with
relieved.
Fatima.
what's that?
What is
I
that?
was almost relieved.
That she's not pregnant?
Well, maybe
Or-
she is, maybe she's not, but I was like, oh, good. I don't want some like winged devil baby flying around and
I know.
you know
I've been
or whatever.
concerned once she started eating the rotten crops.
Yeah,
I was like, what the heck? But I don't think that this is good news at all.
I'm sure it's not.
You know, like understandably, she doesn't want anyone to know about her cravings.
Mhm.
I think it was really hard enough for her to tell.
I can't believe they told
Ellis.
Boyd.
Yeah, well, she ended up telling Boyd.
Yeah, but that was she was like the whole scene. I was like, okay, and then all of a sudden it just cuts, and I was like, oh, that's what they meant. They're gonna tell. Like I thought they were just gonna just talk to him and see what he wanted, but no, they're like telling him everything, and he's just like he doesn't even react. He's like,
yeah,
you know?
like we can't fucking break you, Boyd. Your daughter-in-law is eating crap.
That's what my wife said. She was like, I wonder if this is like ultimately just to stack on more with Boyd, and then it's just there's just casualties along the way.
Yeah.
Honestly, when they had the ultrasound, all I could think of was Spaceballs. When the little alien comes out of the belly and starts doing that dance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And all I'm thinking is that's what's going to happen. Like something's going to come out of her belly, and but
or just seeing something with double horns.
I
right,
mean,
it's not going to be that cheesy. But like, I guess what are the other options? Seeing nothing, it breaking, like it just malfunctioning, or like darkness. Like that would have been creepy too. I wasn't expecting to see fangs or something, you know.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wasn't either. But
uterus.
Yeah.
I mean,
and she's like, there's something in there. There is something in there.
And she's probably right.
Yeah, that's the creepy thing. But think about it, right? What was inside Smiley?
Just old. The stuff, but the bile, right? But nothing.
Yeah,
it was
just
like
the
an
yellow
aged
bile.
human. Yeah, that.
So
It looked like it used to be a human.
Think that she's gonna become one of them.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because she's saying there's something inside of me. At least we know she still has the uterus, right?
She has that.
She has that uterus, but there's no baby in there, and she's eating rotten produce.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and beyond that, craving human blood.
Yeah. I forgot all about Nikki. It was so funny. They kept mentioning Nikki in this episode. I'm like, who the heck is Nikki?
Yeah, she didn't
just too like.
I mean, this show just charges forward. It's easy to, you're just like some traumatizing thing last episode. You're like, oh yeah, that happened because there's 20 new things have broken my brain.
So wait, let's break this down for a second. She's eating rotten food, and she's drinking blood or eating blood, whatever you want to call it.
I was ready for that scene to be way more disturbing too. It was just very disturbing.
It was.
But like, what could that mean? Like, why is she feeding on those things? One of two things. Either she's kind of like a Sarah situation where she's being forced to.
Mm-hmm.
She has something. She clearly has something in her, whether it's worms or
something.
Yeah.
I mean, the question is, and I don't know if, some of the deep dive listeners may know, I might want to go back because when I was trying to get some clips for Jade and Dale, I kind of like went through the scenes really quick. But did she get injured in any way where the monsters could have gotten some? Again, I'm just totally speculating.
Yeah, like going back and trying to find a moment where like an altercation could have happened, where like
something had happened, she got scratched or something that caused the monsters to get into her. Now, we still don't understand how Sarah got the monsters, I don't believe.
Or why is it not a thing anymore?
I mean, because Boyd, it was because Martin touched him, grabbed
Right.
him, and
Like
cut him, right?
transfused his blood.
But crap, I had it. Oh, they didn't touch though. Remember when Fatima and Ellis were in the police station and Cowboy and Purse
Oh, she was
lady?
banging on the door. Yeah, on the window.
Yeah.
But they didn't touch.
No.
But they had that direct eyeball connection.
Maybe that's when they picked her. When they were like, all right, you know what? If you're trying to stand up against us.
Yeah. This one's ballsy. We could use her on our team.
I mean,
You know?
I really hope that she doesn't turn. I mean, that would really kind of suck.
I think what's disturbing about her situation the most to me is that she's very content in doing those things when she's doing them. Like it's not like she's out of control and there's like a tear going down her cheek when she's like eating the blood. It's like that seems like what she wanted to be doing. And the only time she doesn't like it is when she's confessing to everyone else that she's scared.
Yeah.
When she's doing it. It's like,
well, she's fine.
Yeah, she could be possessed, and I, it always comes back to Harry Potter for me. And I was watching Chamber of Secrets, and I was thinking, now that I'm thinking about when you're saying that, Jeannie Weasley was doing all these bad things, and she was in a trance.
Yeah,
like Voldemort was making her do it. So, I mean, it could be that kind of situation. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the listeners are thinking. I'd love to hear what they have to say. But it's
find out eventually.
It's definitely pretty effing gross when you're fingering somebody from a gunshot.
Yeah. And it was the way they filmed it. They knew what they were doing. They were like, we're going to make this weird.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess we can move on from Fatima.
Sure.
I hope this story arc is completed by the end of the season, because that's one of the storylines that I'm like, it's going to be. My heart can't take two seasons of
we save that
what's going on with that baby.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Can we save that until we get to Henry and Victor?
I know. I read it and then I took it away. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because it's a great point.
No, it's a great point. I just we're on the same page.
Okay. All right. So, well, we could talk about Victor and Henry right now. We don't have to wait.
I have
whatever you want to
do. I know you
want to talk about Tina, you want to talk about Victor.
Let's go to Victor and Henry, because I don't want to lose that comment, because that Victor and I have an entire page.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All
Victor and Henry.
Yeah, this is just Victor and Henry's Big Adventure.
Yeah, that's a great name for it.
Entire page.
He was.
What I love is them doing the father-son bonding stuff.
Oh, the scene before the Big Adventure, I love that. That was so beautiful.
In his room.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just Scott McCord. I said this actually online. He's a wizard. He's
such a genius. Yeah. And it's like Victor's so used to being by himself that when his dad is like, "Can I come?" He's like, no, can't come. And then he starts thinking, and he's like, "Yeah, you could come and up to where I have to do what I have to do because it's dangerous, and I don't want you to get hurt." He's protecting his dad.
Yeah, and both of them. That it was just a perfect scene for that. The feeling, emotion behind it.
It reminded me of when my daughter went to daycare or went to school, and she has friends, and she has a whole life without us. Yeah, and you're going into her life, and you're just like, I am nobody right now. I am actually a guest. And I just need to just try to be part of.
Tread lightly.
Try. Yeah, exactly. Tread lightly. And I think what I loved about this scene was Victor's at a crossroads in his life because of the fact that this is his dad. He had this image of his dad as being a fatherly figure, but his dad is not the smartest person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
He's the smartest person in the room because he knows all this stuff.
Sure,
And
yeah.
it's just a very interesting dynamic. And, yes, like you just said, Liz, he's trying to protect him, yet he's not. And I can't
Almost
even
flips it on top of its head, where it's like Victor is kind of like the father figure in this new world to his own dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. He's leading his dad.
I totally was thinking that is my daughter in first grade. Like I am that person. Like, oh, this is my dad, but really, I'm the main course.
I'm still me.
Yeah.
This is my other life. Yeah. So, so they set off on the journey, and they get to the beginning of the tunnels, and Victor reluctantly allows him to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it threw me right back to when Victor and Tabitha were in the tunnels. Victor goes in stealth. He really does.
Yeah.
He travels best alone. Tabitha's in there like, and I'm like, dude, there's monsters down here. Shut up.
Yeah.
And then Henry, like he's been told several times, be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And the voices just carry in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very, very scary. Like
it is.
It's not real.
I was just scared for Henry. I was like, okay, he just got here. Don't have him do something stupid and he's gone.
No, I thought they were going to take him. I thought when he went down there, I thought maybe they would take him just to mess with him.
Or just take him and not kill him, like they just have him, and that would be. Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be terrifying.
Just like take him, and we don't know.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
My other thing is make sure you have enough army men.
Oh yeah,
always. I'm gonna buy more now.
Yeah. I did this research project in 2006. I was in West Virginia in this place that's known as the Quiet Zone. And when you go in and you're there for, a short period of time, and then your parting thing is you have to do a gag of some kind of gag. So the college kids ordered like 3,000 of those little green army men.
Okay.
And one night they went into the offices, where the lab facilities were, the radar room, everything. Everywhere you looked, those little army men were everywhere.
That's fun.
Everywhere. And I don't know about you guys, but I never enjoyed playing with them because the legs didn't move.
No, that wasn't a big toy. I liked to pose them and stuff, so I never was super interested in the army men.
I love my army men.
Really?
Oh, I love them.
I mean, and that doesn't surprise me because like how iconic they are. Like I knew there was for as many people that don't like it, there has to be as many people. It's because it's iconic. It's one of the famous toys.
Yeah, right. I know. Like, I was a big Barbie girl, but she refused to date G.I. Joe because G.I. Joe just had those kung fu hands.
Yeah.
And she did not like them.
They couldn't get anything done. They can pull it. They can pull it.
He was too busy doing other things with them.
Faster, yeah.
I don't want to know what else we're doing with other things.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't date him. But at any rate,
so the overall tone of Victor, like I think he like advanced in this scene. Like we got to see him. He was more confident. I feel like he's spoken like because his lines are always like spoken and as if it's coming from like an 8-year-old,
Yeah.
And this one, I was like, I feel like he's a solid 12 now. Like he was confident, he was clear spoken, and it was thrilling to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, seeing Victor, like so many people's favorite character, like story progression and character growth, and I'm like, we're getting a treat with this episode.
Yeah, I mean, he was in charge, he was self-assured, confident, like he was in his element being in those caves.
Yeah,
and I think that he got a kick out of being there with his dad, even though his dad was, too loud. Yeah. Yeah. But, getting to that first antechamber where he and Tabitha had found all the stuff and it's empty.
Yeah.
Like, do they really just move stuff around? Like,
Yeah.
are they always like redecorating and stuff and they keep going? And it's like that real skinny passageway that they have to go to get to the next anteroom where all the stuff is set up.
Or is it just appear and disappear? Because if they're moving it physically, makes them so less scarier.
Yeah, I know. But plus, like,
job.
how do you get that table through that passageway?
Yeah, and then
like,
set it up like you have a tea party.
It's IKEA.
Yeah.
They actually pay people to go through there and
Yeah.
assemble it and disassemble.
They task rabbit it, or if
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
also-
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
we're not sponsored by, but would really be helpful to.
Yeah. And like there was a piece of Fiesta ware on that table and the little fancy teapot and why wasn't anyone else sitting at the table? Why was it just Jasper? It was like they staged it knowing he was coming for him.
Right. Yeah.
You know? I mean, wasn't it the creepiest thing when Christopher was talking to Jasper and Jasper is like a mile a minute?
Yeah. And
okay, no, please go. Yeah.
Oh, not in this episode.
Well, it did flash back in this episode. I don't know if it flashed back to his speaking, but yes, it did happen. Yeah. This to me is a big moment where it shows you how different characters are. For instance, Thomas called Jim on the phone and Jim's like, "You're crazy. You're not my son." Click.
Yeah.
Victor is like, "Oh, this dummy said a story once. We should definitely believe that dummy." like the certain characters are like completely like, I'm not believing. That's so creepy.
I know. And he looks like someone I know.
Yeah.
He looks like Bing Crosby.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
A drunk.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's it.
Bing Crosby.
Doesn't he though?
Oh my God.
Please don't make it before your time.
What was that movie? The Christmas movie, The Bells of
Holiday Inn.
No, Holiday Inn or White Christmas.
White Christmas.
Yeah,
I think the original name was Holiday Inn though.
But all I know is, why did they have him setting up? And is Jasper, here's a question for you. Is Jasper the voice of the entity that's controlling all of them?
I would assume so. I would assume everything is that.
No, but I'm just saying, because Christopher was talking to him like a conversation and getting mad at him back in the when Victor was talking.
Yeah.
I mean, why would they have him set up like that?
Yeah, he's the big baddie.
Yeah, he's something. I know.
Is that a frame from the show, right? Or is that like is that a frame from the actual episode?
Yeah.
This is a frame from MGM it was one of the promo pictures.
Okay.
But that's creepy as hell, man.
Yeah.
I also didn't expect him to pull a bag out and stuff it in there.
Yeah.
He just like picks him up and just drops him in like he's nothing.
Right.
And then like I'm looking over at the mechanic and he's sleeping and it's weird. Some of them sleep with the monster face and then some of them sleep with their regular face. And he's got a fan and a bunch of books next to him. So I'm like, does he read before he sleeps?
I don't know.
Or
is it just another prop down there?
Yeah. And then, gosh, what else was there?
I didn't even know. I thought the first time they were down in the tunnels, it kind of felt like it was hard to wake them up. And during the day, they were like shut off almost. And this one was like, you shined a light on him and like, stop waking me up, buddy. I was up late reading books.
The thing that was really kind of shocking was, so they moved their little headquarters back, and then the cowboy's girlfriend, for lack of a better term,
shoulder bag.
She's like, Victor, you better not come down here again, or bad things are gonna happen.
No, we're gonna keep you here.
Like, hello, what is going?
She says, like, I called her bouffant purse.
Hold on one
Monster
second.
says, you know, Victor, if you keep coming down here, one of these days we'll make you stay.
I wonder how many times he's gotten threats from them. Like, to us, this is the
Yeah.
first time, but he's been there a long time, and he's had to done some exploring and stuff and pushing of boundaries.
Yeah.
One other thing, I just want to just reset. Yes, folks, I know a couple of people in the chat were asking. We are normally on at 10. We decided we wanted to go a little bit early for a bunch of reasons, but I think we're going to have to go back to 10 because everybody, a majority of the people like to watch it. And then with the tweeting and everything else. So Lisa, you weren't crazy. We did start a little early. But you can blame me for that because I wanted to, get some sleep and, but I'm not going to. But anyway, back to what we're doing. Season 3, episode 6.
And this is what wakes them up because Henry looks at the table and he sees this scarf and he's like, this is your mother's.
Yeah.
Like they have had that down there. They knew Victor and Henry would come down there eventually to get Jasper.
So it was all
staged.
Yep. It was ready for those two to be right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny how they're always messing with people. And some people it's like, I'm gonna murder someone in front of you, make you watch. And then some people it's like, I'm gonna leave your wife's old jacket,
Yeah.
We'll just hold on to this for 15 years just in case.
Yeah, just in case someone comes back. Like they all know what's going to happen.
Right.
So, Victor tells his dad that Jasper knows things. And, Dad is coming from the real world. He has not been here for very long. And he doesn't know his son. And, Victor says that he heard Jasper tell Christopher a story about this place and that they have to make Jasper tell them again. And Henry's like, Jasper is a doll. That's a toy. Like, Henry hasn't caught on.
It's very interesting because I think we all want to just assume Victor knows more than everybody because he's been there for so long.
Yeah, and he does.
Yeah, and he does. But at what point are we supposed to start questioning? It's like, okay, but why would it be specifically this? What since we've seen entities, whether it be the big ominous entity or the boy in white who might be good, speak through so many different things, and why specifically this do we believe that it's going to be what it was the previous time?
Right.
And then it's not just out to get you in the long run anyway.
Yeah. It's just
Jasper gives me the slappy, the dummy goosebumps vibes.
Absolutely.
Added
with a splash of Bing Crosby.
Yeah. I have never liked those things.
No, they're pretty unanimously agreed upon, like a very creepy, which probably the whole ventriloquist, clowns and ventriloquists, man, they don't have the career they used to have 30 years ago because of goosebumps and things like that.
They're creepy. They're just creepy.
They are.
Clowns went down after Poltergeist.
Oh my God. Yeah. That clown in the closet.
I still won't watch it.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest movie now, like in terms of the effects are awful, but I will not watch that movie. I refuse.
What about The Exorcist?
I never saw that. I'm never watching that crap.
I did see it.
I watched The Exorcist and The Shining like as an adult after I'd been hearing my whole life, and I loved The Shining, and The Exorcist didn't do it for me.
I think The Exorcist is more mental than anything else.
Yeah.
And last year I worked on the movie The Exorcist Believer.
Okay.
And I'm watching them film all these scenes because most of the scary stuff happened with the kids. And so I'm watching and I'm saying to my friend, I'm like, hey, I think I can go see this in the movies. And I'm a huge scaredy cat when it comes to that subject matter.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
relate.
oh, I can go see this in the movies. And then we came back for reshoots and they were filming the whole priest section. Initially, the priest had left the house and drove away in the movie. But when we did the reshoots, the priest ends up getting killed.
Yeah.
And that scared me. That whole, like, we spent a day filming that, and it
Over and over.
the whole thing scared me. So I go to the movies to see the movie when it's done. Wasn't scared at all. Got a jump scare from snakes. The scariest stuff with the priest just wasn't in there.
Oh, it just got cut.
They cut a lot of it. Yeah.
Okay. That happens all the time.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Cutting room floor. Guy did a great job too.
Was that was a ghost?
Yeah, that was the ghost.
We were talking about an exorcist, and look what happened.
Don't, I'm here alone. So let's switch up back to Jade.
Jade and Tom.
Yeah. So it was such a thrill to do that interview. We did the press junket with him this week, and my mic was dead. So Alex did a great job interviewing him, and we got some great answers. It's nice to see an actor apart from their part, and he did not give off Jade vibes at all. You know, I don't know what you thought.
It doesn't surprise me with him.
No, I think he did in a good way. What I mean by that is, going back to what we said before, he's so into the show.
Yeah.
And he's so grateful that we've been doing this since the beginning, just about since the end of season 1. And he actually thanked us. I will say that. But like, that's when we started talking about certain subjects, he's like, I didn't really think about it that way. Or tell me more. And we actually had a conversation where, and I think all the actors are like that as well. I mean, we're very fortunate that these actors, like you said, they buy all into it.
Yeah.
And I really think that, like Cliff said, I'm a fan of the show. These guys are really fans of the show, and they, more than them just wanting it to be successful.
Yeah. Cliff doesn't even read Donna's scripts because he doesn't get
he wants to be surprised.
Yeah.
That's
he
awesome.
Wants to be surprised. Yeah. So Jade is, like, I'm really enjoying this particular segment in the episode that he is trying to solve the riddle. And
he's actually doing it this episode. Like, he's usually just crazy talking and angry and mad and confused and all of the emotions that come with the fantastic portrayal of that character that is him.
Absolutely.
And this episode, it's like we're getting to see him work. And I was like, I love this.
Yeah. And when we first see him, he's got a picture that he's drawn of the bottle tree up on the wall. And he's drawn it on cardboard, and he's got a picture of the lighthouse on one side, and then on the other side he's written Camden, Maine.
Right.
And then he's got
two in each. There's like, it almost like has a mirror universe vibe. There's 2 trees in the From world, and there's 2 trees in the Camden world. So that's like really building on what he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got all the numbered scraps of paper, you know, for that one tree that he knows about, because he doesn't know about the other one yet. And he's talking to, I think, Boyd at that moment. And he's saying the numbers could be code. It's an algorithm. Like, I'm sitting here, you know, like, I'm very interested in time travel, and I'm convinced that it can be done. And so, like, in my personal life, I think it can be done. And so he's talking about, you know, what happened to Tabitha. Like, she had a quantum leap, essentially. Where,
what's that term? It's like another name for a wormhole, but that's he mentions it in season 1, which I was like, it's like the fancy theory for a wormhole. I think it's like Rosen something.
I think it's Einstein-Rosenberg bridge.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
So, where one small incremental change, a quantum, change can, transport someone someplace else. That there was a dimensional rift, that even if, the Camden and the tree occupy the same space. And so it would be like if you go into the tree, you drop down into Camden, and maybe and only one of the two trees has the faraway hole, right? So some trees you can't travel at all. And so who knows how many trees are actually in from, or maybe it is limited to 2 because there's 2 in Camden. But what if someone else built faraway trees, elsewhere, not faraway trees, bottle trees elsewhere? And Alex, jump in right here and tell us what you learned about bottle trees.
Okay. So bottle tree lore, as David said that he wants to know more about, is, so I did my research, and back in the Mesopotamia time, all the way up to the Civil War, pre-Civil War, you would have bottles. You would hang them. And what the bottles would do is it would keep away monsters and would trap monsters. Okay? Now, when they make their noise, like the blowing sound when you blow into a bottle, that's the monster trying to get out. There's more to it than that. That's
really interesting. That has to be some lore there that they've borrowed from.
Yeah,
that has to be. It's too coincidental.
So cool. So it's like just awesome.
Now, that being said, think about Victor's mom. What was she trying to do? She first made the bottle tree in Camden, in the public place. Then she made a second bottle tree in her backyard. She gets to for whatever reason, however she got there. She made a bottle tree there, and possibly a second bottle tree.
But
have we confirmed that she made them?
We don't know. I'm just let's just go along the fact. Okay. There's 2 bottle trees made. Now, this is the problem with what you guys were talking about before. Not problem, but just food for thought.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about the faraway trees. The faraway trees have a mind of their own. I don't think. Remember, what did Victor do when he met Ethan and showed him the faraway tree? He put the rock in the faraway tree, and it fell from the sky.
Behind them, right there.
When Julie was with the big massacre, he told her to go to a faraway tree. That took her where it took her. Okay? Boyd went through a faraway tree. It took him to the cliffhanger.
It's always very calculated.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, I really do believe these faraway trees are controlled by the entity or controlled by something. Yeah. Because there's no good reason that Dale should have gotten put in the wall other than they wanted to mess with these people. I mean, I know this is not a big secret, but I will say the bottle tree, and this is something that I'm going to be interested to follow. Is the bottle tree a protection, a gimmick, or are those numbers whatever they are, whether they're dates or coordinates? You know, how does that really relate to the bigger problem?
Yeah.
And it either relates totally to the bigger problem where it's a solution, or it's just another piece that has to do with something else that has nothing to do with the solution.
Or if there are like good and evil forces at play here, it's a struggle between there's like forces fighting over where the faraway trees go.
The other question is, and I'll leave it on this, regardless of all that, what is good, or who is on the good side and who is on the bad side of From, other than the monsters / entity,
right?
Because we figured out obviously the monsters are bad, but are some of the survivors bad? Are the survivors bad? Because we talk about The Walking Dead. I mean, I always like to bring it. We like to bring it back to The Walking Dead. If we had Negan's story in the beginning, Rick would have been an annoyance.
It's just, I don't know all of Negan's story. I know a little bit. I read the graphic novel, but
my point being is, if it was a Negan story and they were the hero, then it would. I mean, he still was a jerk. But my point being is,
you see it from a different lens.
That's my point. That's my point. And who knows what it is? I'm just throwing out questions. I have no answers. But I do know that it would be interesting to see down the road if she tried to capture the monsters in those bottles.
It'd be
the spirit. Quote unquote.
Boy, they're all going to get Jade in the bar tonight then.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. But that's very interesting. And I hope that lore comes into the bigger picture, because that's I didn't even know, I wasn't ready for you to tell me like a look back on mythology of bottle trees. And that was way more fascinating than I thought it would have been. If you asked me.
Well, you know what? Yeah. It's a big thing in the South.
Okay.
It's a huge thing in the South. And I asked Lizzie, because when you're part of different forums in your town, it's like, let's just see if we can get who has a bottle tree and why do you have it, kind of thing, in the local town, and see what happens. Because I think
their parents had it, and then their parents had it because why? And that's very interesting.
Like one of the things that people do in the South, or years ago they used to do, if for those of you that don't know, and you may have brought this up in the past, Lizzie, if you buried your Civil War family member on a piece of land, you kept that land for life. So if you notice, there's a lot of family plots in the South.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is you got to keep it. There's a relationship to that.
Yeah.
That's a family plot.
But just the little plot of land?
No, land.
But also, that could even tie into this story, that idea, when you're seeing soldiers in Drumland.
Right. And again, I don't know. There's a lot of storylines going on. We've got the second settlement. We have to figure out what that's all about, which we've only really figured out is that they have creepy skeleton or scarecrows, and they've got food. And as Kenny said, there's something else out there, which we haven't
there.
And that got bigger this episode with Tabitha's realization of her childhood and the rest.
And then we've got, From proper, for lack of a better term. And it's feeling a little cliche-ish now, what they're doing. But I just love this season that they're really, it's more psychological than what it was.
Yes.
Now that I got on my soapbox, I'm done. You guys can.
Okay. So we'll go back to Jade and the bottle tree thing. So he says to Boyd, the bottle tree thing was important to Miranda. And that's when Boyd drops the bomb about there being a second bottle tree. So he tells Jade where it is. Jade goes off to look for it and finds it. When he gets there, Tom is there cleaning glasses.
Boy, they zip places in this season now. Like, the places they traveled, we thought like all day to. Now they're like, I'm going to head over there this afternoon.
Yeah. Like, and still broad daylight. So he gets there and he's trashed, and Tom, they have this interesting conversation, and Tom says to him, this is great. You're the drunk looking for answers in a tree full of bottles. Like, okay, that's pretty good.
It's a very fun scene.
Yeah. And then Jade asks him why he's wiping the glass, and Tom says, a man does what a man does. I'm like, okay. So is that line going to make sense later?
Or is it maybe holding a mirror up to Jade?
What's that?
It's almost like holding a mirror up to Jade. It's like, yeah, why am I doing this? Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I will take it one step further. I will take that one step further.
Yeah.
My old football coach used to say, a man is what a man does. Okay. Yeah. And what does that mean? You live by your actions.
That's good.
And, Jade has professed that he's the smartest person in the room for a long time, and that he knows, and he's this, and he's that, and he's this. Well, you know what? Shut up and do it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's what Tom tells him.
Yeah.
He's like, get off the bottle and start doing some real work. Like when we see Jade earlier in the episode, that's the creative Jade that I thought we were going to get.
Yeah.
And instead, he was allowing himself to be driven crazy by this problem he couldn't solve. And so,
yeah, it's easy to forget that oh yeah, like he's not working at his actual mental capacity because he's been intoxicated, like in some aspect the whole show.
Do you think that's what the monsters want? Because think about it this way. Now, you've played Dead by Daylight, which I know you haven't, Lizzie, so just hear me out. There's this one character that all he does is he just hits you once, and you have to, heal yourself.
Yeah.
And he goes around to every single person, and he keeps hitting everybody. And what does that do? It makes you want to go heal. Well, it takes away from the point of the game, which is to make the generators start so you can get out of the place. So what I'm trying to say is maybe the entity knows that he's the smartest person in the world and he can maybe figure this out. So what is he going to do? They're going to make that whole symbol thing. They're going to start shooting things in his head, and they're trying to make him farther away from the person that he should be, and more crazy time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's
I don't know. I mean,
a great theory.
Yeah.
But also they just took away his potatoes this
Yeah.
season. That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, his alcohol's about to dry up because they took him away. But you're right. And beyond that, the sign, all these things, the wormholes they've been going, no pun intended.
Yeah.
They have him going on,
But I think they're doing that to everybody too.
Yeah.
He's batshit crazy this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except Sarah. No, they're not doing anything with Sarah.
Yeah, like she's the sane one.
Right.
You know? So Tom, Jade is trying to look at, before he even leaves, the bar, he's trying to look at nature and trying to find that pattern. Comes out to the bottle tree, and Tom is really just his, his, what do you call it? Subconscious talking to him. But Tom is like, hey, that tree is not nature. Nature has a design to it, and that tree is not nature. So he's directing him away from trying to solve that problem by the tree.
Yeah,
but then when we end the episode, he's sitting there with Ethan, and they're looking at the numbers, and he's like, we have to find the pattern here.
Which is Ethan, a great duo. I love that.
Yeah. I think they're good together.
I really thought he was going to find something by the end of that episode, Ethan.
It's going to happen, though.
And he kind of did.
Yeah.
He kind of did, because he said, in some of these numbers, the 2s and the 7s are backwards.
Oh.
And so, plus, when they're comparing the pieces of paper, the first bottle tree that Jade found, it's on slips of paper, written on slips of paper. But on the other bottle tree, it's written on bark. That's not paper.
Okay, so we're aging it, or at the very
So
least,
it's
at
the
a
older
time where they didn't
tree.
have resources to their ability, but they had bottles. So I guess that's
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where they got all those bottles, but
They had like a
they
pen
pulled
or
bark off the tree and
pencil
wrote on the
on the bark.
bark, and the reason why, I don't want to say I know that, but the reason why I strongly suspect that is that I'm going back to my childhood when we had a wood burning stove that was kind of like a fun thing.
Yeah.
And the wood that we would burn was birch wood, and birch wood has white bark, and it's like you can peel off the bark, and it's like paper.
You could write. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like that's a great tree for that.
Yeah. So that's what made me think about it. And Jade remarks that the second tree is written in cursive. And what have we gotten away from in this day and age? Cursive.
Yeah, it's it dates it, absolutely.
Yeah. So
I honestly didn't even think, I've thought about cursive. I've used cursive here and there, but I haven't thought about numbers in cursive in a long time. So it almost like hit harder. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, numbers in cursive. I was like, that's
yeah, they're fancier and
yeah,
they look better.
They drink finer tea than us.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think I have like athletic letters, numbers, but we end this when Tabitha sees Jade's drawings of the scarecrows. Like they're just sitting there. Like he has his moment with Ethan, and then he's sitting there with Tabitha, and his book that he's been obsessing about that Mrs. Lou gave him, and then drawings that I think that he made of the scarecrows.
Yeah.
And she's looking at them and she's like,
I know,
because she hasn't been out to that place.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I know these. And all of a sudden she flashes back to when she was a little girl, and she's walking and she sees the 3 bloody stones that are in a circle.
Yeah.
And
I only remember 2 in the actual shot, but not to say that there's not a third one.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that was important.
It makes me, I didn't recall whether there were 2 or 3. I didn't recall.
But they're the same stones, and that's what's important.
Yeah. Like I just remembered that they had blood, or they were red. I mean, Alex and I talked about that, like, the Aztec or the Mayan sacrifice, going up the pyramid, but she's crouching behind the stones and she looks up and screams. Mm-hmm. And we don't know what that is. And she realizes that she's connected to this place just like Miranda had been.
Yeah. She did have a piece of this before she got there.
Yeah. Like when she was a little kid. And it's just like, I mean, I think a lot of us have memories from when we were kids.
I have a dream just like, not like that, but I have a dream that I could say right now that I had it a million times as I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I finally figured out what it was, but yeah, it was terrifying. Anytime I had that dream, it was terrifying. Was yours terrifying?
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was something like a monster chasing me at my grandparents' house, and I always get stuck at the same carpet in the center of the house, which they actually had, that I traversed normally in real life. Yeah.
Yeah. I was in the basement. Just so weird.
Yeah.
In that same basement I was talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I think we might have killed that one to death.
There's a lot of stuff to work with on this episode. It was
fantastic. I know.
Like I said, there wasn't a lot of. It was an important episode. It just wasn't very action packed.
No, it's like, if you're a From nerd, this is going to be amazing.
It's a lot of deep dive. It's a lot of deep dive.
Yeah,
it's very deep dive.
Where do you want to go next, there, kiddo?
I think
because we pretty much
might have hit pretty much everything. I mean, there was the only thing we really didn't talk about was Marielle with Randall in the clinic.
Yeah,
but
we
just
touched on it a little bit, but
just a little bit.
Yeah.
But just, she goes to change his bandages and he gets a first look at his face,
yeah,
which those
Oh.
stitches were gnarly.
Oh wait,
yeah.
I think I can show you what those are.
What, the stitches?
He's gonna look like the Joker. Or
All I
half
can
the
Yeah.
say is snitches get stitches.
Yeah, snitches get the stitches.
All right, hold on. Let's
Um,
see. I might be able to come up with this.
Yeah.
A side note, did you see the map of From in the trailer?
Yes, I saw
It didn't
that.
seem as kid-like drawing. I was like, this is more elaborate than typical Victor's drawings.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, look at that.
I
Talk
mean-
about prosthetics. Yeah. They did
Yeah,
a
we
great
got to get
job.
Patrick in here. Patrick's
He
the
still looked
one.
great in that scene too.
Yeah. Great work.
I'm glad that they're developing them. The only thing
Yeah.
that I'm a little disappointed with is that they really haven't developed Bacta too much this season.
No, I agree.
And
When we do see her, she's not coming off in a good light.
and she's like trying to do this like thing with Boyd. I don't know. It just feels like she's trying to like move in on Boyd.
She's usually just moving our main characters from point A to point B.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
specifically with Boyd for sure. But then in the whatchamacallit, in the diner, that's kind of what she was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Maybe
mean,
she's the
for
new
somebody
diner
else.
person.
Yeah.
She needs a gong to bang, but so she is trying to convince Randall that she's okay, but he's not buying it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
like Randall having a path now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good.
I like
he's on the
that she
team.
invited him to live
Yeah.
there.
but I love
Yes.
that he's on the team now. He's like not just being a dick.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, but he feels an identity with the other two.
Right. No. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying though, he's not just there to be a jerk. He said that to Boyd. He's like, I know what I'm here for, and it's not good. Like I've seen the
Yeah.
problem, and I need to help. And,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Boyd was giving him shit, and it's like, dude, you need all the help you can get at this point.
Yeah. I wonder if, well, I mean, we haven't seen the three of them talk. The biggest conversation we've gotten about their shared experience was him talking to Julie,
Yeah.
outside the bus before they go off to get high,
He's forming like the Dark Avengers and From.
Dark
Yeah.
Avenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean-
No, and I think you will see them. I think you're going to see the trio. And,
Yeah.
I mean, they're clearly built on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think. No, go ahead.
I'm excited to see. Like, I'm wondering what it's going to be like with him living at the clinic now. And I wonder if Julie will go and stay at the clinic.
I don't know. I
Now-
mean, she's definitely not in she doesn't seem like she's fitting into the family unit at the moment.
Yeah. But she also, it's kind of like she feels obligated to be there for Ethan because the parents are
Absolutely, yeah.
getting wiggy,
But now
I
he's
think-
with Jade.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be buddies, and I don't know.
I think also that it could be a good thing or a bad thing if they all three of them get together in the sense of
Absolutely.
Yeah.
we don't know what's going to happen with the entity or whatever. I know I keep going back to that, but maybe that's the plan.
Yeah.
Getting them together. Yeah.
But it was really interesting how they just took him. And that's the other thing. Why didn't Boyd say something? Like, I don't get that. Like, you won't shut up sometimes. It's like they said it was a trade. Like, and they'd probably be like, oh, why did you trade? No, I had no choice. Like,
Yeah.
you wanna
Yeah.
live?
And it's honestly, Randall seems like he would completely understand that. I know it's more exciting and dramatic if he is angry, but
Yeah.
There's just certain things. Like, come on,
Yeah.
And Boyd just keeps wanting to get in his face.
Everyone's face.
Like, yeah, but like, why is he? It's like he's poking the bear with Randall. You know, like,
what's up, insane gamer kid? Sorry, I just say hi.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he's definitely poking the bear.
Yeah,
we'll see it.
So-
I mean, they hinted at it. They had him walk in looking at him, and I was like, "Is it going to happen now?" No.
I know. Like,
So this
what
episode was
happened to his
moving
gun?
pieces around clearly. Like they're just like, here's the issues right now. We're gonna move these characters in place, and
Yeah.
what comes next.
I get it. It's just bizarre. It really is bizarre how they're doing it, but they are doing it. That's for sure.
It'll be exciting.
Do you want to do your booms, or do we kind of
I mean, they're quick. We've covered everything. So my boom one is Fatima is not pregnant. Question mark.
Yep.
Boom number 2 is Jasper is a toy. And then boom number 3 is Tabitha did see this place before she got there.
I think that's the biggest boom.
Yeah, that is the biggest boom. And it almost brings the whole bracelet thing into focus, but not quite.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I just know that I can't wait to see the next episode, which we're probably going to watch right after this.
In 10 minutes.
Yeah, sorry there, Andy.
No, it's okay. I saw somebody's already seen the end. I saw somebody tweeting like, I just saw the finale. I'm like, what?
Yeah, like we have all the episodes, but we don't watch them ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll tell you, if I had watched the next episode, it's the chances of something coming out of my mouth are just too good.
It also would affect the honest discussion that we're having.
Yeah.
So I get it.
That too.
And I applaud your discipline.
Yeah, it's very disciplined. Like when we mentioned this last year, we were doing the press junket, and I think we were with Liz Saunders and Scott McCord, and they were like, well, you saw, and we're like, no, we're not allowing ourselves. And they're like, what? You have all the episodes, you're not watching them?
Yeah.
And honestly, I
respect that. That's like you are elite fans and really honest, dieharded fans. That shows it.
But we also know ourselves too well. One of us will say something.
Yeah. You know, Andy, and you can appreciate this. You know, being a content creators like we are, it takes so long to deal with 1 week's worth of content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're constantly doing stuff. You know, we gotta do merch ones, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and which is we have to do them. As much as I don't want to half the time, we have to do them. But it just takes so long that I couldn't even imagine watching all that because it would be like this.
It'd be falling down on top of you.
Yeah.
I don't know that as much as I can't even keep this episode straight. Never mind.
Right.
Yeah. I spent all day with it. And I still am like,
I mean, we call each other all the time, and it's just like, what do you think about this? Like, when we think about it, like we're really having in-depth conversations for hours over this crazy show, and we still can't even get it right.
Yeah.
No, but I just think we just love the fact that, you know, we found somebody else that really loves the show as much as we do.
Yeah.
You know, and you too, because we have Chris that came on too. No, I don't know if you saw Chris.
He was great. Yeah, I saw that episode.
He's awesome. Great. He's actually a personal friend of mine.
Right.
And it's so weird because I actually met someone the other day that they're like, you podcast on that show? I'm like, yeah, you've heard of it? Yes. I was like, oh my God. It was like a mind-blowing thing. Because I mean, you know, you look at all these numbers, and if you just take our numbers and everybody else's numbers, I mean, you know, we're very blessed. When we put our podcast on the audio only, we're getting over 1,000 listeners. Yeah, and that's 1,000 people every week. Yeah. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that's a testament to the show, MGM Plus, from that people want to listen. And that's not just us. I mean, that's all the platform. I mean, all these other people that have gone onto the thing. So I just think it's really great to be able to, don't take this the wrong way, Lizzie. It's nice to talk to somebody else about this besides just you and me.
Oh, I know. I remember when we started, nobody really knew about it. And we were like, wow, we got 65 downloads. It's like probably half of those were us.
Yeah, we kept checking them. No, but
I can't wait to hear your numbers when season 4 is in full effect.
Oh, I don't want to think about season 4. Oh,
yeah,
that's gonna be awesome.
Definitely need to process this season before.
Well, we'll have a whole winter/spring to process it, and so what else do you got going on, Andy, besides getting almost arrested?
Oh gosh, I'm editing that right now. I'm about to be past October, and that's the hardest month for me. So I am just trying to get to the end of the year, and I'm going to take a break and just ease up on life a little bit. But yeah, I've got actually, you know what? Something I have been working on is like a premise for a TV show. That I was going to try to kind of guerrilla film that myself with some friends that are actors, some successful actors. Like one of my buddies in Cobra Kai. He was in Eastbound and Down.
Who was he in Cobra Kai? If you don't mind me asking.
Brooks. Yeah. He's actually just in a big movie that's getting rave reviews called The Line. Is Bo Mitchell. He said he's not I said he hasn't even read the script yet. He was like, he's into skateboarding too, and he's an awesome, sweet dude. But I have a lot of just really good, genuine friends that are down for this project. So I'm trying to finish that script and maybe shoot it at the beginning of next year. So
that's awesome. And no, like I said, it's always nice to see other people, because we don't do it, but Jason, the head of podcast, big Cobra Kai fan, and
it's a fun show. It's
really a fun show. I mean, and what I
love Cobra Kai.
Oh, did you? I had a few friends work on it. You might know one of my friends worked on Walking Dead heavily too.
Yeah.
He's the stunt double for Spider-Man. His name's William Spencer. He's always he was a stunt double for the for the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man specifically.
Yeah.
But he's been in Walking Dead for years and years and years as a zombie and the stuntman.
Yeah, it's tough when you're a set teacher. You don't often know crew.
Oh, right.
And that is my biggest sadness, because the crew are like rock stars to me.
Yeah.
You
I'm jealous you just get to work on a production at all. I mean, I'm super lucky because I get to just make weird ideas and create it and make a living off of that. But it'd be my dream just to even help out on, a project like their production just in general.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
So Andy, if you're in the New York City area and you're filming, let me know, because I'm ready for you. I'm ready.
I've definitely filmed in New York a handful of times.
I got my hair ready. My skateboarding skills suck. I've been on skateboard for that many years. I don't need to be on one.
You can kick us out. It is a skate show too. It's it's like an Office parody of a failing skateboard company.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's awesome. A lot of heart in it, and I'm really excited about it. So hopefully we actually can make it happen.
You got to get some guest stars like Tony Hawk and
of course,
those guys. Yeah.
I've met him once. I haven't. I don't know him, but he seems like he's just really into anything skateboarding.
Of course. I mean,
he loves it.
He was at the Olympics. He was at everything.
He seems like a very likable dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just. I mean, I've gotten to see them when they were actually, at their height in the I guess late 80s, early 90s.
Right. Yeah.
They were down at Brave New World in New Jersey at the ocean. It was like him, Cab. I can't even think of them all, but it was all Poltergeist. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Sorry, Lizzie, we're talking.
That's all right.
I just think it's great. And folks, before we go, we do want to say, Lizzie's been working hard on her stickers. We also have our bookmarks. We also have the poster. and we're going to be doing pre-sale for our poster for season 2 soon. And I know everybody wants the season 3 poster, but you know, these things only they take time. And
it's a work of
we have
art.
a really good idea for season 2. And I think if it works out the way we want to, it's going to blow season 1's away. I know that's kind of crazy, but it is going to blow it away. And I think we're going to probably do a deal where if you want to get both of them together and whatever else, and whatever. But Andy, thank you so much for spending the time with us.
It's an honor always. I love hanging out.
Thanks for being so last minute with us.
Of course, I'm here for you.
Next week Sunday night. Cheramy. I forgot to mention.
Wait, hold on. Right. Next week
is
episode 7. These fragile lives, and we're going to be having Hannah live for however long she wants to be with us, and later that week we're going to be interviewing the most famous, most popular cop in From, Samantha / what's her character's name?
Acosta.
Yeah. I want to say everything.
We also have press day with Pegah.
And I have press day with Pegah.
That's fine. My microphone will not work that day either.
I'm sorry.
You guys live fun lives.
Well, you know what? It's all smoke and mirrors. It really is. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors. But no, I do want to thank actually Hannah's mom, because it is my birthday today, and she left me a message. I also got it. Wait, the best one of all, out of the blue, I got a text, and of course, he is the nicest person in the world, from Jamie, aka Smiley. Hope you are doing well. Happy birthday, all this kind of stuff.
Happy birthday! I didn't know.
Don't worry. I kept it really low key. I'm sorry.
I'll eat you later.
Exactly. That's basically what he said. No, it was just really nice that they took the time, because I'm trying to forget my birthday. After you get to a certain age, you just don't want to think about birthdays. But my daughter made sure we had a card, we had a whole thing, and we had all sorts of good things. But again, we're gonna get you back on, Andy. Sure. I can't wait for you to come back on. But unfortunately we got to talk to Julie.
No, I'm honored that before, it's like you're interviewing Cliff, and then I get to be the next episode, and I'm like, and then Julie comes next.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. You are there's all the actors, Jade's bike, then you. So you're right there, man. Okay.
I never thought I'd be
below you, because you're the talisman.
We're gonna have the bike on.
You should definitely have the bike on, at least for a little 2-minute gag, or just a bike in a frame.
Yeah, we should actually, yes. And we'll have to have some crazy voice. But no, thank you so much, guys. We are going to be out of here in just a minute. I just have to figure out what I'm doing here. And 1, 2, 3.
Get you home. Let's go. Come on, get in your house. Let's go. Come on.